Hey y'all, it's Kate from the Literary Apothecary, and today we're going to be talking about the 5th season by NK Jemisin. Now, as you know, I read this as my Patreon read for July, spread over into August, but I absolutely loved it so much. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. It was so good, so fantastic. NK Jemisin's writing style in this book was at a whole other level. It was absolutely fantastic. So, here's a quick summary. Our main character is Asun, and she comes home to find that her husband has brutally murdered their son and kidnapped their daughter. Our land is the Stillness, and it's a land that's been long familiar with struggle and despair. We have origins, and those are the people who can use the power of the earth as a weapon. So they're essentially are magicians in this fantasy world. The 5th season is what happens after winter, before spring. Each 5th season is different, and the goal is basically to survive. And so a lot of people have an issue with this book in this series because NK Jemisin uses the second person point of view in this very frequently. In book 2, it's one of the 3 main perspectives that we get. I didn't have a problem with it at all. I actually liked it. It helped bring me into the story even more than the third person narrative. So I really enjoyed the second person, but a lot of people have a problem with it and they can't follow it. To me, it just brought me right in. I did an immersion read with this where I listened to the audiobook while reading along with the text, and that was so fantastic. The audiobook is so great. The narrator just envelopes the emotion that NK Jemisin pours into her writing so well. You can't help but feel the emotions of these characters. I was taken away by the writing style, I was taken away by the characters, the story, the world, the magic. Everything about this book just had me turning page after page after page and not wanting the book to end. Let's see, favorite characters? That's a hard one. I really loved, my favorite characters would be, I think, Alabaster and Tonki and the Dr. Lerna. They were my favorite characters. They were kind of more side characters, but they were so much fun, and they helped bring Asun's story to life in a way that maybe not all of the characters did. Now, let's just cut straight to spoilers because this book is so good and I can't talk about it very much without talking about spoilers. So, seeing the battles with these origins, especially Asun, was absolutely insane. Seeing her be able to use the earth in battle and call up the water to create a tsunami and to create earthquakes just with her emotions was absolutely crazy to see. I was like, what is she gonna do next? What is she gonna cause next? She caused entire cities to be destroyed with her emotions, and that to me was absolutely insane. Like, just to think about having that power scares the daylights out of me. And I think, like, this is so far in my fantasy reads, this has been my favorite magic system because it's so frightening in real life. All the other magic systems, I feel like, were either not as frightening, obviously, or not as threatening. They were more fantasy world instead of real world based. But to imagine people having this magic in this world was for me, just a whole other level frightening. Because they don't need anything else. They can just use their body and their emotions and the earth that's around them. They don't need any magic wands. They don't need any potions, anything. They can just use what's already there, and that is frightening. I think, see what else to talk about. That ending. Let's just cut straight to the end. So, in the end, in the last couple chapters, we start to find the truth about what's really happened to Aesoon. We get to this kind of community, the commune, where we see the doctor again from the very beginning, and he kind of explains to her what's going on. And then we meet up with Alabaster again, who tells Aesoon kind of what's happened to him. He was essentially eaten by a rock eater, during their last battle together, and Aesoon had to give up their kid because she felt powerless, and it was just a really, really emotional scene in that whole battle, and it was just absolutely crazy. So now Alabaster's body is essentially turning to rock, and he's dying, and he gives his last bit of wisdom over to Aesoon. And then at the very end, in like the last chapter, we find out that our three main characters we've had all along, Aesoon, Demaya, and the You in the second person, are all the same people at essentially different timelines in different places in the stillness. And that to me was completely mind-blowing. Like, it felt like they were different stories at the same time, but really they were different. They were the same story at different times in different places. And to me, to be able to pull that off the way that NK Jemisin did was just completely mind-blowing. When I read that, I was like, holy cow, imagine the mind-blown emoji, and that's how I felt. I was just blown away by this first book. And thanks to Sharon Dwyer, I now have book 2, The Obelisk Gate, and I can't wait to find a spot to put that in, because it just left us like that. Kind of like resolved, but also cliffhanger, because we don't know what the hell is going to go on. We don't know what's going to happen. We haven't even had the 5th season yet. We've just learned about it, and I can't wait to see what happens with this story. This is a trilogy, so there's 2 more books in this story, and I'm so excited to see what's going to happen. I did a vlog while I was reading this, because this was my Patreon read. The vlog is for Patreons only, is one of their perks. So if you want to see my reading vlog, join the Patreon. The link will be in the description below. It's only $1 a month. I don't ask for much. And you get monthly reading vlogs from me. You get to choose a book for me to read during a month. Lots of cool perks. But yeah, 5 out of 5 stars. I would have given it more if I could. Like, all of the stars to the 5th season by NK Jemisin. This book was just absolutely surreal, absolutely fantastic, terrifying, emotional, so well written. Writers dream of writing this well. On my new rating system for the monthly reviews, this would definitely be a Jamie Fraser level, because it was absolutely amazing. I want to read it again. I can't wait to read book 2. I guess you could say it was also an MBOT, level, because this was book 1, and I don't know what's going to happen in book 2, but it feels more like a Jamie Fraser, where I already want to reread this after I just finished it. So that's my review for the 5th season by NK Jemisin. 5 out of 5 stars. If you haven't read it yet, you need to go pick it up and come to the Discord to talk about it with me once you've read it. The link will be in the description below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. As always, my Patreon and my Discord information will be in the description below. Keep reading, and I love y'all to the moon and back. Bye.